Okay, picture this. You're running your business, grinding away, and then it hits you. Am I doing everything I can to maximize profits? Spoiler alert, probably not.
Exactly. And here's the thing, 2025 isn't about working harder, it's about working smarter. The CEOs who are killing it this year, they're using strategies that most people haven't even thought of yet.
Which is why today we're breaking down the 11 ultimate money-making hacks every CEO needs to know right now. These are strategies that will make you rethink how you grow, scale, and, let's be honest, make serious cash.
Yeah.
Ambitious.
And this isn't your run-of-the-mill advice. We're talking about using AI as your secret weapon, turning ideas into passive income streams, and even outsourcing smarter, not harder.
So grab a notebook, a coffee, or both, because by the end of this episode, you'll be armed with the tools to dominate 2025. Ready? Let's jump into hack number 1. It's a total game changer.
Our goal today is to cut through all the hype,
Figure
out what actually makes sense, and how these strategies could actually work for you.
Yeah, get down to the nitty gritty.
Exactly.
It's interesting. Both sources, they have totally different vibes.
Yeah.
But they both really focus on like a mindset shift, right? Like it's not about just grinding it out anymore, right? It's more about like using technology the right way, being super efficient.
And like really getting how wealth is made these days.
It's like they're taking that work smarter, not harder thing.
Yeah.
And just like amping it up like 1,000%. Totally. And speaking of working smarter,
okay,
both sources are like all over AI and automation.
Huge topic right now.
It's not just like, automated your emails or whatever.
It's
way beyond that.
Way beyond. Like imagine ChatGPT just like creating whole marketing campaigns for you, or Salesforce Einstein like predicting what your customers are going to do with it. Like crazy accuracy. So where you spend that energy is...
It's mind-blowing, like the potential.
It's like having this whole team of like tireless robots working for you 24/7.
There's
driven robots too.
Data-driven, exactly.
Think about being able to analyze like your whole market in like minutes.
Yeah.
Finding like hidden opportunities that your competitors don't even know exist.
Right.
All because AI is crunching like everything, mountains of data.
Mountains. That's the kind of edge CEOs need.
Yeah. To win in 2025, this
is like a total game changer.
Absolutely.
Makes you think, like, what's the first thing you would give to your AI assistant? Like if you had one.
That's a good question. Yeah, would it be data analysis or like customer segmentation? Yeah, maybe even something like creative. Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, it's about figuring out, what's important, but maybe not the best use of your time, as a CEO. It's not about replacing humans. It's about like freeing us up to focus on the big stuff.
And this whole focus on efficiency and automation, it kind of ties into another big theme, from both sources.
Right. Recurring revenue.
Oh, yeah.
They are obsessed with subscription models. Obsessed.
It makes sense, right?
It does. Think about it. Like Netflix,
yeah,
your gym membership, software subscriptions.
Yeah.
They all give you that like steady of income.
Yeah.
It's predictable.
So important.
Right. Lets businesses actually plan and grow.
And survive like the tough times.
Exactly.
And the cool thing about recurring revenue is it really helps you like build those strong customer relationships.
Oh, for sure.
It's not just a one-time sale. You're giving people ongoing value.
Totally.
I'm building a community. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, you're not just selling a product or a service. You're creating an experience.
And the CEO's Listen Up video, they suggest starting small, like maybe a premium service or some exclusive content for like your most loyal customers.
That's a good idea.
It's a low risk way to try it out. See if subscriptions like work for your audience.
So instead of like totally changing your whole business model,
yeah,
you can just like experiment a little, see what happens.
Exactly.
And speaking of experimenting, the Diary of a CEO video, they talked about this thing called fractional leadership.
Oh yeah, what's
your take on that?
Oh, it's kind of like, having access to like the best people, but on demand. Oh, interesting.
Like you hire experienced leaders, like a CFO, but only part-time. I see. So you get the expertise without the full-time commitment.
Makes sense. Right. So it's perfect for like startups or companies that are like growing super fast.
Exactly. They need the high-level guidance.
Yeah.
But maybe not a whole team of execs.
Right. Not yet.
Right.
So it's like a way to like scale your team strategically. Yeah. Get the heavy hitters when you need them.
Exactly. Like having a secret weapon, you know?
Ooh, I like that. A secret weapon. That's good.
Yeah.
So we've talked about building a strong team.
Right.
And both sources today, they're really big on that.
For sure. But they also spent a lot of time on the CEO, like as an individual.
Okay.
They both pushed this idea of building a strong personal brand.
Yeah, it's not just about like vanity metrics, right? It's not
Just followers, not like
No, it's more.
than that.
It's about like building trust, showing you're an expert, and attracting the right people to your business.
So it's about being more than just a CEO, right? It's about being a thought leader, someone people trust, someone who attracts opportunities. That's the Diary of a CEO guy. He tells this story
Oh yeah.
about how he got this huge partnership just because the other CEO.
Like listen to his podcast.
Well,
He had built that relationship, that trust through putting out content, sharing. You took
His-
knowledge.
makes sense.
Makes you think. Like, what's your platform? Is it LinkedIn?
Could be. Hey,
Podcast? Yeah, maybe even like a book.
maybe.
It's about figuring out how to use your expertise to connect with the right people.
Absolutely. Build that trust.
So,
Important. So while you're out there building your brand, remember that advice from the CEO's Listen Up video.
which one?
Focus on your strengths. Right. The stuff that really matters. Yeah. Outsource everything else.
I like that.
The Diary of a CEO, he's all about that too.
Really?
Yeah, he says CEOs need to be like masters of delegation. Focus on that 20% that gets you 80% of the results.
The Pareto principle. Exactly.
And then hand off the rest
Yeah.
to a team, freelancers, whoever can do it.
Interesting.
He even challenges the idea of like hiring generalists. Oh, really?
She says you want specialists. People who are really good at one thing.
Okay. Like a team of experts.
Yeah, like a sports team. Right. Yeah.
I see that.
You need different skills to win.
Makes sense.
He had some cool examples of like high value skills.
Like what?
Things like medical writing or financial copywriting.
Oh, wow. Niche stuff.
Niche, but like in demand.
Yeah, high demand means high earning potential.
Exactly. And he said, if you have those skills, don't be afraid to like negotiate a higher rate
Oh, interesting.
or even like equity in a company.
Bold move.
It's about knowing your worth, right?
Definitely.
And it all ties back to that outsourcing thing.
How so?
You free up your time
Okay.
to focus on the high value stuff
Yeah,
while someone else takes care of the rest.
it's a win-win.
Exactly. Speaking of things that can make or break a business,
What's that?
finances and taxes.
Oh, taxes. Yeah, I know, right?
But both sources had some interesting things to say.
All right, let's hear it.
The CEO's Listen Up video, they were all about using those fintech tools to optimize cash flow.
Huh, like what?
They were big fans of platforms like Stripe, Wise, Brex.
Oh, yeah, those are popular.
It's all about ditching the spreadsheets,
Right.
getting real-time insights.
Makes sense.
The CEO, in the Diary of a CEO, he took a more sophisticated approach, let's say.
Okay.
He was talking about like borrowing against your stock portfolio. Whoa, choosing where to incorporate your business for tax purposes and
Strategic.
maximizing, loopholes.
Interesting.
Now, he was very clear. He's not talking about evading taxes.
Good. That's important.
It's all about legal optimization.
Right.
He even said, what'd you say? If you're trying to build wealth, you kind of have an obligation to pay as little tax as possible.
As long as it's legal, yeah.
Legally, of course.
That's key.
Bold statement. Oh, yes. But it highlights how important it is to be smart about money, for sure. And understand the rules.
Yeah.
You got to play the game.
So it makes you think, are you being as strategic as you could be
Good question.
with your finances, your taxes?
You really got to think about that
Are you missing opportunities?
to like save money legally.
To legally reduce your tax burden.
Right.
And maximize your wealth.
Interesting.
Speaking of maximizing wealth.
Okay.
The diary of a CEO guy, he had a whole thing about long-term investing.
Oh, yeah.
It was fascinating.
Tell me more.
He was all about index funds.
I've heard of those.
And dollar cost averaging. Right. As a way to build wealth steadily.
Steady growth. I like that.
He was really against trying to like time the market.
Oh, yeah. Or chase.
Those hot stocks everyone's talking about.
Makes sense.
He said, just be disciplined. Invest consistently in a diversified portfolio. He had some great stories to prove his point.
Like what?
Like this janitor, Ronald Reed.
Okay.
He made like $8 million.
A janitor?
Yeah, a janitor.
Wow.
Just by investing in blue chip stocks for like 70 years.
That's amazing.
It shows you don't need to be like a financial genius
To
build wealth.
patience and consistency. Oh,
Exactly. That's and he talked about Warren Buffett too.
Oh, wow. The legend.
Apparently like 99% of his wealth came after he turned 60.
No way.
So it's never too late. It's all about playing the long game.
Yeah.
Understanding compounding returns.
Right. Time is your friend.
The CEO had this analogy. He said, investing is like watching paint dry.
Oh, what?
It's not exciting, but it gets the job done.
I love that.
He's big on automating your investments.
Okay. Set up automatic transfers. Yeah. Then just like let it grow.
Don't check it every day.
Don't obsess over stock prices. All right. Perfect for busy CEOs.
Right? Definitely.
But he also talked about staying calm when the market dips.
Oh, that's hard. That's
Inevitable. Yeah, markets go up and down. He said reacting emotionally, that's what leads to bad decisions.
for sure.
So have a plan for when things get volatile.
Okay.
And stick to it.
Even when you're panicking,
Exactly. Discipline is key.
long-term thinking.
Long-term investors often benefit from those dips.
Interesting.
Okay, now let's talk about something that always gets people fired up.
What's that?
Buying a house.
Oh yeah, big topic.
The CEO we're talking about, he had some interesting thoughts on this. I'm curious. He actually challenged the idea that buying a house is always a good investment. He had data showing that historically, house prices haven't really gone up that much.
Adjusted for inflation.
Adjusted for inflation, exactly.
He said it's those recent booms that have skewed our thinking.
That makes sense.
He sees homeownership as more of a lifestyle choice, not just a financial investment.
So like, if you're just looking for returns, there might be better options.
Exactly. He said, think about your motivations. Are you looking for stability, a sense of community, a place to raise a family, or are you just hoping to make money?
Good question.
He even suggested that in some cities, renting might be better.
Really?
Like luxury rentals. You get the amenities, the flexibility, none of the headaches of owning. No.
Property taxes.
No repairs, no maintenance.
That makes you think.
He wasn't saying owning is bad. Just be realistic about your expectations.
Don't just assume you'll make a ton of money.
Prioritize lifestyle.
Exactly. It's about making choices that align with your values.
And speaking of values, let's talk about something that's both exciting and kind of scary.
What's that?
Blockchain and crypto.
Oh, yeah, that's a whole other world.
It is.
The CEO, he did a great job explaining it, though.
Really?
Yeah, in a way that like anyone could understand.
Even me.
Even you.
I'm not a tech person.
So he described blockchain as like a distributed ledger.
Okay.
A database in the sky.
What?
That everyone can see and verify.
Yeah, so like no central authority.
Exactly. No bank, no government.
Wow. It's
All about truth and transparency.
interesting.
Everything is verifiable. No one can tamper with the records.
Powerful stuff.
He compared it to like the invention of the internet.
Whoa, that's a big clue.
Revolutionary technology that changes how we exchange value.
And how we interact with the world.
Exactly.
It's hard to even imagine the possibilities.
He went beyond just cryptocurrency too, okay? Talked about how blockchain can be used for like digital assets. Supply chains.
Yeah.
Verifying identities.
Interesting.
Even voting systems.
Wow, it really could change everything.
He had some cool examples of how it's being used in gaming.
Oh yeah, like what?
Like players can actually own and trade their in-game items.
That's crazy.
It changes how we think about ownership in the digital world.
Right, it's not just about playing anymore.
Exactly, it's about value creation
Players can actually make money.
from their skills.
That's wild.
He also talked about how people can invest in crypto.
Okay.
You don't need to be a millionaire to get started.
That's good.
Start small, Get used to the volatility.
Right, it's risky.
And learn about security. Right, things like ledger devices.
I've heard of those.
He even said investing in Ethereum now is like getting shares of Facebook back in the day.
Early days.
He thinks blockchain could create a lot of wealth.
For those who are paying attention.
For those who understand it, yeah.
It's definitely something to learn about.
But it can be overwhelming, right?
For sure. Like, where do you even begin?
He had some good advice for that.
Like what?
Do your research.
Okay.
Start small.
Yeah.
Don't invest more than you can afford to lose.
Good advice.
He emphasized that crypto is still evolving.
Right.
There are risks, definitely. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme.
It's a long game.
It's a long game with
potential for big wins.
And big losses.
Right. You got to be smart about it.
So
it's all about balance.
Yeah.
Understanding the risks and rewards.
Making informed decisions.
Right. Just like with everything else we've talked about today.
So is blockchain a fad?
Or is it the future?
Big question.
That's the question every CEO needs to answer.
It could determine their success.
In the years to come.
Absolutely.
Back for the final part of our deep dive into making money moves as a CEO in 2025.
Let's wrap it up.
We've covered a lot of ground.
From AI taking over marketing to
the wild world of blockchain and crypto.
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind.
But now it's time to distill it all down.
Get to the good stuff.
The actionable advice you can actually use.
Exactly, the stuff that matters.
So, out of everything we've talked about, what really stood out to you?
What got you thinking?
Honestly.
Yeah.
I keep coming back to that idea of combining AI with specialized skills.
Interesting. Yeah.
Like the ultimate power move for success.
Yeah, I see that.
It ties in perfectly with what the Diary of a CEO guy was saying about targeting high payoff problems, right? Where your skills can really shine.
Where you can deliver exceptional value.
Exactly. Like that medical writing example.
Yeah. Niche skill.
But huge demand.
And big earning potential.
It's finding that sweet spot,
Expertise meets market need.
That's it.
Got to find that sweet spot.
And I loved how he negotiated for equity in that biotech company.
Instead of just taking a salary.
Yeah, it's thinking outside the box.
Leveraging your skills for maximum return.
It's like knowing your worth and not being afraid to ask for it.
Reminds me of his approach to taxes.
Oh, yeah.
It's not about evading, right? It's about optimizing.
Playing the game smart.
Legally, of course.
Of course. Ethically.
Minimizing your tax burden.
It's about being savvy,
Thinking long term.
It's just like with investing.
Exactly. Remember his mantra?
Slow and steady.
Wins the race.
Especially when it comes to building wealth.
Patience, discipline, consistency.
Just like Ronald Wheat.
The janitor who became a millionaire.
Just from investing consistently.
It's inspiring, right?
You don't need to be a genius.
You just need a plan.
And the discipline to stick to it.
Even when things get tough. When the market dips, that's
the test.
It's about having that mental toughness.
Resisting those impulses.
Not splurging, not making rash decisions.
Remember the boat analogy.
Plug the leaks.
Build a solid foundation.
Before you set sail.
Great analogy.
So we've covered AI, blockchain, crypto, investing. A lot of ground.
The key takeaway is that success in 2025, it requires a holistic approach.
You got to put it all together.
Weave these insights into your own strategy.
A strategy that aligns with your values.
Your strengths, your vision.
So, as we wrap up this deep dive,
let's leave you with one final thought.
A question to ponder.
How will you take all this information
and create your own path to success?
A path to financial
freedom, a path that's uniquely yours.
That's it for this deep dive
into money-making strategies for CEOs in 2025.
We hope you found it valuable.
And we encourage you to take action.
Choose one thing,
one idea,
one small step,
and start building the future you deserve.
Wow. Those 11 hacks were absolute game changers. If you're serious about leveling up as a CEO in 2025, just imagine the impact even one of these strategies could have on your business.
Exactly. Whether it's leveraging AI, monetizing your intellectual property, or building that killer network, these aren't just ideas. They're tools you can start using right now to drive results.
So here's the challenge. Pick one hack, implement it this week, and see the difference it makes. Trust us, action is what separates the good CEOs from the great ones.
And hey, let us know in the comments, which hack are you going to start with? Or maybe you've got your own secret strategy. Share it with us. We'd love to hear how you're making moves in 2025.
Before you go, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss more episodes packed with insights, strategies, and game-changing advice for CEOs and entrepreneurs like you. Sign up.
Plus, share this video with someone who needs it, because we're all about building a community of thriving leaders here at CEO Chapters.
Thanks for tuning in. Keep crushing it out there, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Until then, stay bold, stay focused, and as always, keep building your legacy.